Alrighty, and we are live. Yes, yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Reviewing with You as a Planet. So, first off, welcome back. I have been absent for a month. This is because I have been traveling. I visited Helsinki, which is in Finland. Fantastic place. But I'm not going to get into that because this is not a travel video. This is a continuation of, or actually, this is the sequel to a series I did previously. So, this right here, this guy in yellow, or like low definition yellow, is a man or person named Bee Eater. Bee Eater is a Tab G player, a close friend of mine, or a friend of mine, and also not really the best player to ever exist. And especially when I had met him, he was pretty bad at the game. So what I did is that over a series of 4 videos, I reviewed his gameplay and I helped him get better at the game. Thing is now, he's gotten a bit rusty, and also he wants to beat his objective of getting 30 kills in a single game. He's never done it before, and he still can't do it, and he doesn't know why. So, he requested my help. So, this is not like the other videos. The other videos were a lot more about basic things like don't run into open fire, don't shoot somebody at 30 meters with a shotgun, like pay attention to grenades, stuff like that. This is going to be a lot more theoretical. It's going to be a lot more like decision making, like should you take this fight, should you not, how do you like control the flow of a fight, all that stuff. So just letting you know ahead of time, if it starts getting too like abstract and everything, sorry. I will try and use like visual elements to help, like Microsoft Paint and stuff like that, but no guarantees. Anyways, so actually, okay, we are back. So, here are the notes from the previous time, and mostly what I ended up off of. Most of it, as you can see here, is mostly just, um, like inconsistency. He's pretty good at making plans and then, like knowing what he's doing and everything, but the problem is that he usually either has good plans and he can't execute on them, or he has bad plans and he just tries to like power through them, which does not work in a game like this. So, as I said before, it's going to be more theoretical stuff and everything. So, yeah, hopefully, he has improved. We will see, definitely. Let's see. Alrighty. So today is April 14th, I believe. Yes, yes, it is. So, video 2.1, because this is a new series. This is not part of the original series, by the way. Those other 4 videos are their own thing. They are, yeah, they are done. This is something new.
Back. It's been a hot second.
Yes, it has.
But here we are. Fiddle with some settings here for a second.
Alrighty.
But we are back. 100 hours in. I've yet to get a 30 kill game. And
Yeah.
he wants to know what I'm doing wrong. So that's what we're doing here.
Yep.
I win.
As he said, he wants to hit a 30 kill game. So yeah, great. Hopefully we can do it. I don't know. Maybe Beater is cursed.
I need to get luckier and kill things faster. But like that's the fucking Cliff Notes version. Holy fuck, this small.
Wait, hold on.
But like that's the fucking Cliff Notes and kill things faster.
Okay, yeah. So basically, the TLDR of this is that, like I haven't seen it specifically. Maybe he's just running into open grenades, and that's the big issue here. So far, the biggest issue that I had noticed in the past, and that's probably the one that's still plaguing him, is that he cannot. He takes a lot of time with his fights, which I mean, it's okay because he's not dying because of it, but it's also not very good because it means that the more time you take in a fight is the less time you can be taking other fights or looking for other fights. And if you're going for maximum kills as possible, you need kills to be over, like, you need fights to be over instantly. Now, you can speed this up by using specific weapons like the crossbow, the musket, sniper rifles, minigun, everything, etc. Weapons that, like, can just kill somebody instantly or even like a full team instantly. Beater doesn't really like these weapons, so what he'll need to do is he'll need to learn how to take fights better and more efficiently is the key thing. Also, I cannot hear a thing, so this right here, this is a little thingy I use called 600% sound volume. Fantastic addition to any web browser and everything. I mainly use it because I have audio tuning, so I can hear stuff in video games. It makes videos a bit wonky and also makes them really quiet for some reason, specifically like Firefox.
That's the fucking Cliff Notes version.
So, anyways,
Test test. Yeah, I'm not actually that tired. Second move. I should probably say something. Like, okay, who is this?
okay, also, I'm going to speed through this because this is an hour and 42 and I'm going to spend at least 1.5 times that talking. So,
Very, very simple-minded creatures. But he's one of the smarter versions. He's one of the smarter ones. He actually managed to get up here. Bid creature, I found.
okay, he's just kind of making fun of the players in his lobby. Okay. B, can you...
It's a 19 pop.
Okay. Minor request B, can you please put chapters for these? Like, just chapters for when the things are, just to make all of my life easier. Okay, here we go. I can also, I suppose, just like scrub through.
Previously stated.
Okay. So, he is landing Area 64. And he actually got a pretty good drop. He's like right next to it. And, even better, well, I think the other guy might get there first, but the other guy doesn't have access to much loot. He has only the stuff that's on top of the tents. Oh, hold on, I forgot. I'm going to need, real quick, I'm going to need this. No, that is a video game, that is. Apologies about that. On guard, the game I accidentally clicked on. Fantastic game and everything, not the subject of today's video.
Simple-minded creatures.
And it's still opened. Okay, hopefully that's resolved.
Okay, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he up my ass?
Better question, why did you not grab a gun the first thing and you instead went and grabbed the healing grenade?
Poor fight.
B mentioned that he was rusty, but like, come on, dude.
Died 'cause of poorness.
Not poorness, you're just you're playing terribly. Ay.
Think we can juke him?
Yes,
No, he understands that he does not want to fight me either, because he is also poor.
you haven't reloaded your AK.
We're gonna go over to this tent instead of those tents. Yeah, that's pretty ideal.
So, FYI, I'm pretty sure there is somebody near here, which was the person who jumped over this wall here.
Usually I just pop some stupid fucking tab image, like actually shitpost image.
I think he's talking about the video thumbnails he does.
And no one's gonna get the joke. Because it's gonna be a completely different joke.
Oh. Awareness, B. Awareness. Please. You hear a car crash to your left. Okay, cool. You can deal with that later.
And no one
Your intent. A, actually, if we rewind a bit, I'm pretty sure you heard somebody reloading. So,
either, because he is also poor. So we're gonna go over to this tent instead of those tents. Yeah, that's pretty ideal. You know what I should have talked about? I should have talked about.
so you hear footsteps, very faintly, but you hear footsteps.
Thumbnail of this video.
You hear somebody reload.
Usually I just pop some stupid fucking tab.
You hear the person with the car. You reload. You hear yet another person reload. Actually, that might have been him with the Beretta.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and no one's gonna get the joke.
You hear more footsteps.
Because it's gonna be a completely different joke.
And now they start shooting at you. Like, please be. If you're in Area 64, the single most contested area on the map, and the most popular location for pretty much every single player, please have your eyes and ears open. Once the POI, the location is clear, okay, then yes, you can go on and go dance around and everything. But this is gonna be a long video, isn't it? Okay, let's rewind and look at this. So, first thing, this guy gets the first couple of shots on you. Okay, that's not good already because you're starting out the fight at a health disadvantage. Then, you run towards him, despite having an AK, a medium range weapon. You jump down, into his bullets,
I die anyway.
and then stand there and just get shot. Now, there are a couple of ways that you could have taken this fight. Number one, you go to the left or behind you. You, okay, you don't have a bandage, but still, I think you have cardio. You could just literally run around and then go back and catch this guy off guard, either by being on the same level as him or jumping up again, because I don't think this guy knows how to follow you, given that he's standing still during the entire firefight.
I die anyway.
Option two, you throw down the splinter grenade you have and you leave, and then you come back once it goes off and take this like in the normal firefight.
I die anyway.
Option three, you don't jump down, you just stand up on the place where you have a height advantage, and you also have the railings that cause awkward collisions for bullets, which means that you're less likely to get hit.
I die anyway.
Option four, you do jump down, but you swap to your Beretta, or you you move to the left out of his line of sight before you jump down, so he loses sight of you and he has to readjust. Option 5, you jump down and use one of your other weapons. Yeah, there are about 5 different ways you could have taken this fight. And that this is going off of how it is currently with him ambushing you. If you were listening to him and you knew that he was around here and he was expecting you and everything, if you jumped down like half a second before him, you could have gotten a 2-second kill, and boom, that's literally just another check mark on your kill tracker. Instead, you lose a very good start. And this is why randomness is important, people. So, I feel like we're gonna have to type this a lot. Ears open until a location clear.
It was a mixture of two things. A, that was just bad aim, and B, I didn't realize he had an MP44. And have you ever met a wobbler with an MP44?
Oh, okay, well, he does make a good point. The MP44 is an incredibly deadly weapon, and ironically enough, most new players who pick it up have a spooky level of aim with it, which is probably because it doesn't have much recoil. It's ironically enough one of the easier weapons to use. It's slow firing, low recoil, still has a 30-round mag, but it hits like a truck. It kills in 3 shots. It's the only rifle to kill in 3 shots, or assault rifle to kill in 3 shots. It's 2 if you land a headshot. It is incredibly deadly.
Or an MP40. Plus 50% accuracy. Okay, it was probably more.
Also, yeah, you did not have good aim during that fight, but there were many other things that led up to you losing, rather than just bad aim.
Yap, 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 yap. Is the notepad out?
Yes, I am yapping and I have the notepad out, but you want the 30 kills, so you're gonna sit here and listen to me.
You have a little notepad, Yerza? Are you
Yep.
enjoying it? You writing notes?
No, actually, this is, I'm gonna be honest, for you being, for the rest of you watching, this is hard to watch. It's like watching somebody trying to ride a bike and constantly like tipping over slightly, so they have to like reset the bike and try and pedal again, and then they tip over again and everything. They're not falling over. They're not that bad at riding a bike, but it's still kind of tiring. No, diagrams will come later. Hey, Storm Blessing is a fantastic blessing to get when you're coming back, mainly because if you drop in on someone that doesn't have a lot of loot and you can get one of the faster firing pistols like a Mac 10, like Mac 10 G18, G18C, Tech 9. Tech 9 is lucky, but even like a Beretta or something, if you have a Storm with that, it's really good because if you can get the Storm to trigger, it's an extra 40 damage and also kind of momentarily blinds the person. Also, most people tend to panic when they see somebody else have Storm, because if you have somebody who's skilled with Storm, they can absolutely wipe you. So people like automatically kind of like mentally prepare for that, and they're less inclined to take a fight. and with your pistols and everything, and when you have limited ammo, it's really good at getting extra damage with less bullets used.
We talk this shit.
Tallworks is ambitious.
19, not even there. Fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Was that a gamble? Was that an absolute?
And of course,
I should not have done this.
there's
But I
nobody
did,
here.
I did.
Shocking.
Okay. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
That was a very dumb thing I did. I did the.
Okay, so he's got a pretty solid loadout right now. He has the AKS, very good as a machine gun, very strong at close range, works up until medium range, and he has a Scar H, which is good at medium range and then works up until like the start of long range. Well, even then, it
Fucking
can do okay at long
putting my
range.
head under a guillotine and flipping a coin whether or not to kill myself.
Aye.
That's a bad analogy. Whatever.
Yes, yes, it is. It's also not very family friendly. Please, do not listen to B.
I got a red hunt from that. I didn't even fucking notice. Oh my god.
Also, yeah, there's gonna be a decent amount of cursing during this, so heads up.
Good thing I have 0 kills and there's nobody over here.
That is completely your fault, B. Okay.
Matters. Like increases bullet drop off, so it makes the bullet slower. Down not fire rate, but like increases. Yeah, I think it's heavy barrel is severely underrated. Like,
Oh yeah, heavy barrel is really, really good. It increases the damage, decreases recoil a slight bit, moves where the bullets come out of your gun, and it gives them a bit more range. It's pretty good.
Are significantly closer.
Unfortunately, it also adds a giant barrel onto the edge of your weapon, so with some guns, it's not really the best option. Although with some submachine guns, if you know how to like space yourself well, it is fantastic.
And I'd rather have that.
Alrighty, AK Thompson double barrel.
Very basic loadout.
Completely normal loadout. This is what most like decently skilled people run because it's a good loadout. And then he got the H1, which is more or less a better version of the AK. So it should be fun. Okay, so there's a fight here. Good thing you did not come here when you're dropping in. Okay, it's been mostly looted.
If I get one tap throughout the crossbow, the video ends.
I don't think he gets one tapped. I don't think he gets one tapped.
I'll split the video in two. I will. I'll make you fucking pull up a separate video, Joseph. Is there someone over here sniping? Snippity sniping.
They are down.
They're down there.
Minor problem. Okay,
That was very
so how do you think B-Eater should have taken this fight? Round 2. This is what I was talking about before. It's either good plans badly done or bad plans that you don't, or bad plans. Okay, so here's the situation. You have 3 people in front of you. 2 of them with some kind of health blessing, 1 of them with at least 2 blessings. This guy is resing this guy. This guy is staring off into space. You have an implosion grenade, a knockback grenade, and a bombardment grenade, and an H1 and a Thompson. So, actually, it's 2 downed people. So, what are your options here? Just going off of what you have. Well, option 1, you grab your H1, and you just shoot them from a distance, because the H1 does a lot of damage, like especially at medium range, and is incredibly accurate. That's a really good option. Actually, I'm going to pause it right here. So option 1, use the H1. Option 2, use the bombardment grenade. Bombardment grenade, kind of rare to get, but if you get it and you know when to throw it, you can like deal either a lot of damage to somebody or completely split up a team because it basically sends in a lot of bombs from the sky and they stun people temporarily and they deal a lot of damage. If you can throw it in the middle of a clustered group of enemies, you can get them to run, and unlike the orbital grenade, it happens really quickly, which means it happens really quickly and it like takes into account terrain and everything. So if somebody's like on the edge of a hill or everything, you can get them to run pretty far away, which makes them easy pickings for you to shoot with the H1 or the Thompson. Then you have an implosion grenade. Implosion grenade also really, really good at getting people over to where you want. You throw it next to somebody, stuns them, drags them out of cover, has them laying on the ground for like a full second where they can't really shoot back. Really good option. Knockback grenade, not like doesn't have as many use cases as the implosion grenade, but here in this scenario, it's perfect. You have two people right next to each other. You throw the implosion grenade, this guy who's standing gets flung far away from his buddy who's down. This guy, I think he also gets flung. I don't know how physics work with downed people. This guy, well, we're going to ignore him and everything. This guy gets flung. He's probably going to go all the way up here, or even better, he gets launched towards you. He's completely lost. You take out your Thompson, boom, couple shots, he's dead, and then all of these guys as well. What should you not do? And out of all the options I named, what did I not name? The Thompson. And why is that? Because for the Thompson to work, you have to get close. You have to be in more or less inside this yellow area. And why is that a bad idea? Because you have one, two, and three people here, and you are one. You are one person against three people. Now, admittedly, two of them are downed, but still, even if this guy ignored you, you missed all your shots, and he revived his buddy, he then turns around, shoots you, his buddy shoots you, and bing, bing, boom, you're still dead. Even worse, let's say he still doesn't revive his buddy. What happens? Same thing that happened in this game, and right here, actually. He shoots you, and you fall over and die, because you had to close the distance. And the closer you get to him, the easier it is for him to kill you. Now, obviously, I know I said that you need to speed up fights, but speeding up fights does not mean being reckless. There's a very clear difference. Speeding up fights means you take down an enemy, and then you take down the next enemy, and then you take down the next enemy, and you take breaks if you have to. It does not mean be reckless.
Okay, was I being stupid? Yeah,
Yes.
I wanted to see how close I can get to him without him realizing.
Okay, so you're just playing like an idiot. Okay.
Like a wobbler. You didn't notice me fall. God damn! I just got smoked by a UMP because I was fucking around. I should have just shot him.
Yes.
I need to stop fucking around.
Yes. Yes, you do.
This is going on fucking live television with Yozo.
Yes, yes, it is, and there are going to be at least 30 people that are going to watch this, including Dual Rotor and a couple of other people that you know.
That was just me fucking around and finding out.
If you're going to do that, please don't do it in the gameplay that you send me.
Is that just me being stupid? Yes. Should I stop being stupid? Yes. Was it worth it? No. Wasn't even funny.
Yeah, and so everybody loses.
Fucking tragic.
Oh, hold on. Apologies about that. I had some family matters to tend to. Where were we? Right, B being an idiot. Okay.
Here, they're always a threat. You can't kill them. There's still a few of them. A few of them. Kill them. So you can't complete it. Because you have to aim thing in here, and they don't notice you. Stomp on them. It's nothing. Or rhyme or reason. Or completely destroy the enemies without any fucking rhyme or reason. Like with bat, it feels like with every single enemy, and I've played with also bad players, mediocre players, and good players, like real good players, and it's like it feels like you either completely destroy the enemies without any fucking rhyme or reason, like it's just fucking you stomp on them, it's nothing, or you cower in fear, and they don't notice you.
And that's called inconsistency, which is what happens when you have lack of a game plan and lack of good combat habits, which is what I suspect Bee Eater suffers from. So, yeah, hold on. Okay, yeah, so as I was saying, inconsistency problems. This is what happens when you have good mechanical skill, like Bee Eater does. He has good movement, he has pretty okay aim, which for Tab G, that's pretty good. Aiming in Tab G is like 30% like diminished compared to other games because of various factors I'm not going to get into today. You have good, you know when to use grenades and everything. You know how to do like good looting and all of that. So yeah, the problem is you are incredibly inconsistent, and um, you don't know how to fight, or you know how to fight, but you have bad habits when you fight, and that means that you get yourself killed. Case in point, the very first fight that happened today. You know you've been in that kind of fight like at least 50 times before. You know what to do, but because you don't have the right habit for it, you didn't, and it got you killed. So that is probably where you're gonna need to
I
work
don't have
on.
that same thing in content warning because you have to get near them, but also you can't kill them, so you can't completely destroy them. You can incapacitate them, like a few of them, but you can't kill them. They're still a threat. They're always a threat. Which is just not something I get from Repo. Like, the goal, half of the gameplay is just moving objects from point A to
Oh.
point B as effective.
Wait, I think he was talking about content warning versus repo. He wasn't talking about tab G. Okay. Noted, but my point still stands. Your problem is definitely inconsistency. So,
Randos.
how do you fix that?
This is
Well,
not a good job.
so yeah.
Okay, at least it kind of.
First issue, or so, first way to solve inconsistency, having a specific drop spot that you go to on a consistent basis. Now, obviously, this is a bit harder. The wrong button. This is a bit harder to do in Tab G because it's a very big map and the bus lines are a lot more chaotic than they are with other battle royale games. So instead of that, what you can do is you can have 3 spots more or less on the map that you pick.
Astro.
Does he pull up his map at any point? Okay, when he pulls out his map, I'll explain what I'm talking about in more detail. But
So, did any of y'all know Soft? Oh,
oh, it's Frodo.
no! No, you're not tasing me! Fuck off.
Frodo.
Let's,
So that is Frodo. You can recognize him by the octopus hat and business suit. He is better than Bee Eater and me. Yeah, he's a pretty skilled player,
No!
friend of Bee Eater, friend of mine, and also likes to troll people.
No, you're not tasing me!
And so he's trying to tase Bee Eater instead of just shooting him.
That's, that's Frodo.
Yeah, as he said, that is Frodo.
That is not Frodo. I don't know how to do this kind of attack, I'm just gonna
Okay,
keep
congratulations. You've gotten one of the people downed. You should probably heal up.
I don't have a gun.
Okay, so
I don't know how to
decently
do
well
this
played.
attack.
Have a game plan. Whenever you down somebody, the first 3 steps are get to cover, heal up, re-engage. There are exceptions to this. Obviously, if you can't get to cover, if you have like vampire or relax or healing words or some other way to heal up, you can skip the get to the cover part. Not always, but on occasion you can. If like there's somebody who's going to go heal them, you can throw down a grenade or something before you head to cover. Obviously, yeah. But you should keep that 3-step mining plan. So, step 1, get to cover. You're in cover. Frodo's behind you, but he's memeing. He's probably not going to kill you. Anybody else, they can't really see you behind a rock and behind a pillar and everything. You have a lot of good cover. So, you should be healing now. 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 And then you start healing. That costs you about 5 seconds for a laser for a underbarrel laser, which you can get a million of in any area that has a lot of loot.
I'm gonna let Fredo do his own thing.
And what it does is that it costs you 5 minutes. It costs you 5 seconds to fight. This is part of the problem about what I was talking about you taking long fights.
What is he doing? Is he revving them? Fredo caught in 4K auto teaming? Now, who is this? Where did they go? Endless. 112. Such a cool.
So you missed the guy. He was actually running over to your left. Oh my god, Fredo. Okay, so you're teaming with Fredo, which is not nice. I feel bad for the other people. However, it doesn't really matter because you have terrible aim. Okay, so that took you. It is 15:45, and you saw them at 15:10. So that took you 35 seconds. Do you want to know how you could have sped up this fight?
K auto teaming?
Slash downwards. You might hit one. You might hit both. Pull out your vector. Shoot the guy. Run over. Stab the guy. Shoot the guy with your vector. If it's out of ammo, shoot him with your Luger. Or run behind pillar, heal up, and then come back and fight again. That would take you. Let's see. It is about. Let's say it is 1 second to do the full slash. 1 second to kill the guy either with katana or vector. 2 seconds to like run around to like turn and kill this guy, or to shoot him with a vector, or swap to Luger and kill him. Everything, and then maybe it might take another second if you have to run to cover to heal up or something. This is all of this adds up to 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 seconds to finish a fight. And you want to know how long your fight took? 35 seconds. 35. That is 7 times longer. 7 times longer, B. Do you know how much more wasted time that is? This is a 7. This is part of the problem. Okay? This is exactly what I'm talking about. When you see somebody, you have to have a plan. Like, obviously, this comes with experience and everything, but you see them, you know what tools you have and everything. You need to have a plan ready. Now, obviously, like, this is gonna be too complicated, but you can even make make yourself a short list. Like, for example, I'm gonna pull out the notepad for this. Let's say okay. Let's say I have this katana. So these are my weapons. I have katana, SMG, any SMG, double barrel, and then yeah. Okay. Let's say these are my weapons. Okay. What plans can I make with this? Okay. Well, I can make a couple of plans. I can do slash plus SMG. That's a pretty good plan if I need to go from like medium range to close range. I can do double barrel plus SMG. Good if I need to get somebody who's up on height, or if I need to close distance and my katana isn't available, or I just want to be flashy. I can do katana plus DB plus SMG if I need even more range. So there's that. I can do just katana as itself. I can do katana plus DB if I need to get the extra room. And like, let's say I want to get height and then I use a slash to like, or let's say I'm down here, or let's say the other person is right here and I'm down here. I can use the katana, like the DB to go up, and then I use katana to slash across, and then I slice them. I can do that. This is just a couple of examples of what you can do with the weapons that you have. Now, what you should be doing is that when you're about to start a fight, you're running through your head, and then you're like, this one, I can't do that one because I can't get enough range or my gun isn't loaded. This one, I can't do, it doesn't make sense, it's too slow. This one, okay, yeah, I can actually do that one. This one, yeah, I can do that one. This one, it's a bit too risky. And so what you're doing here is you're going through and you're checking off each one. You're like, I can do this, I can't do this, and you're assessing which one is the best for the situation you need to go, that you need to have happen. But the thing is, you always have a plan in every single moment, and obviously this comes with time. As you use weapons more, you'll understand and you'll learn what kind of plan can you make with each one. But you have more than enough time in this game. You should know that slashing in with katana and spraying with submachine gun is a very viable plan. So instead, what you decide to do is try and chase and lose a guy. You get an assist from Fredo, actually. This is cheating, yeah, technically. Normally, you wouldn't get this kill because this dude would be kind of wandering around and would shoot you or something. And so, here you are, 35 seconds later. You should have just swapped your Luger, dude. Just now, do you finally get the kill on the dude? 7 times. And you have used 7 times the amount of time necessary.
Yes, I used the katana.
And this is part of the problem. You don't have a plan. And most of the time, so yeah, most of the time, or okay, not most of the time. There are times when you do not have a plan. When you do not have a plan, you have to make a plan quickly. And when you make quick plans, they are bad plans because you do not have time to strategize and to take everything into account. This is why you are taking, it took you 35 seconds and an outside person's help to get that kill, instead of it just being a maximum 5-second fight.
We're using the katana. And I'm mostly using it for mobility, which, it's doing work. Someone just dropped. No, yes.
There we go. This is literally what I'm talking about. You have a plan here. You see somebody drop and they're behind cover. You can't run to them because they have the advantage here. Gun or not, it doesn't matter. So what do? You slash sideways past the cover, and then you spray them with your submachine gun. This is literally what I'm talking about. You could have done that earlier and saved yourself so much time. And yet you didn't. Okay, you need to work on your aim, obviously, but you could have done this. Why didn't you do this? Ah! This is the inconsistency I'm talking about.
Kind of like having the mobility though.
You have, oh no, you don't have a double barreled. You have a Luger.
Which is a value use. Hey there, little mister. Bye there, little mister. And then...
Nope, he's over there. Okay, so it took you about 4 minutes, but you finally managed to clear this POI and get yourself 3 kills. And Fredo kind of... I have no idea where Fredo went, but yeah, he's gone. I hear somebody else. I think somebody else is still here. Okay, there we go. There is somebody else still here.
Ah, the little wobbler of a Garen. What a classic sight.
I think you missed some ammo, but whatever. Okay, and now you're running out in the... But why are you back here?
McWeeper. McSweeper?
I feel like I've heard that name or seen that name before. Yeah, whatever. Of course, bee-eater of all people getting dissed. Okay. Well, you've gotten yourself 7 kills. Congratulations.
It's 7 kills off of the same squad. It was like 1 or 2 squads.
And let's see. I'm at 1836. How many people were there live at the start of this game? Okay, there weren't actually that many people. This was a very quiet game.
That was very sad.
Okay, this is actually a decently respectable amount of kills based off of how many are in the lobby, but still. You could have been out here about 2 minutes ago if you were faster. Or at least had a plan when you took fights. Okay, so you hear people. Are you
Let's just
making
say
a
that
plan right now?
I wish dash worked in the way jumps did. We're like, common has two, rare has like 3 instances of dash.
B, you're absolutely friggin' insane. Okay, he's off. He's proposing that dash works like jumps does. Well, how dash works is that you get one dash and it is on a 5, 4, 3, whoops, 3 and 1 second timer. So, hold on. I'm not the world's best digital artist. So dash, you get one of them, and it works on a decreasing timer based on the rarity. Jumps, you get jumps instead of working like that. You get I'm pretty sure um you get a variable amount, and I'm pretty sure it's like 2, 3, 4, 6 or something like that. Anyways, so what he's saying is that dash over here worked like this, and where you got increasing amounts based on the rarity. Now, the reason that this is an absolutely terrible idea is that dash and jump have very different, like they have a very different value. Jump sends you up in the air a tiny bit. Now, this is really good if you want to avoid taking fall damage. It's also really good if you want to dodge people's shots and everything. But because of how physics in Tab G works, you can't accelerate. Well, in the air, you can't. Your moving side to side is a bit more difficult. And everything, you're kind of stuck, especially if you're doing multiple jumps, you're kind of stalling yourself midair. So it loses value as it goes on. Its main use is parkour and some combat application. Dash, however, is insanely powerful because what it does is that it takes you here and it sends you to anywhere inside this circle depending on the direction you're moving. It's not instant, but it's a very fast just repositioning tool to go to here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or whatever. Now, if I can do that, and I can do another dash here, and I can do another dash here, you can do what is known as breaking someone's camera, which is a terminology from Call of Duty Warzone, which basically, in that game, they don't have a dash, but they have a slide, and it's a very similar concept. You slide so fast past somebody's camera that they have to turn, like they're turning one way, and they have to stop, and they have to turn back the other way, and this whole time you're shooting them, so obviously you get the kill, as long as you have okay aim. The problem with doing that, the problem with having multiple dashes in Tab G is that you can do that to an even greater extent because of how Tab G's guns work and all of that. If you were able to do more than one dash, you could completely dash behind somebody, or like dash behind somebody and in their face. So not only do they have to completely turn around to shoot you, they can't even actually shoot you because their gun is in the way. Your character is in the way of their gun, and that would make you pretty much unkillable if you knew what you were doing. So
Like
I know it's completely unnecessary and tangent, but
charges
Beater, you are
actually
completely insane for that.
causing improvement.
Now, if it was like a shorter dash or something, or if it wasn't, if it was a game that wasn't Tab G,
That would
or
be
like
so fun.
it was harder, like the time to kill was like took more bullets and everything,
Cool.
I would see it actually being pretty okay.
And way better than the state it is now, because faster recharge, it only works. Is that Freddo? No, that's not Freddo. That is Freddo. Okay. Um,
So he meets Freddo again.
I think we've established. Have we established a no shoot pole? I think we have, just because we were both poor. But
Just
I
take the
don't
loot
think
and
it's
run,
too
dude.
deep. Oh, Freddo, you bastard!
Now the question is, does Freddo have cardio? Because cardio, I'm going to guess that you know what the cardio blessing does if you are watching this. Um,
You seriously panic launch? Are you still trying to tase me midair?
Freddo is a fun
Bastard,
character.
Freddo.
Freddo is definitely a
I
unique
will fight you
character.
like a man. And if you tase me, I'm fucking ending the recording.
So it seems like he doesn't get tased, at least not for another hour and a half.
He has. Where is he? I saw him.
Not anymore. He's probably over the bridge and up the
There's a
hill.
puff of smoke.
He's getting to zone like a. Oh no, he was hiding.
If I low on nades, I can come out of nades.
Okay, that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Well,
Oh my god, it's a balloon crossbow. Oh, he is evil.
trick shot. Trying to
Yes, he is trying to trick shot you because you make it really easy, B.
no. This is what I got. He has the crossbow.
He's just messing with you, dude. You're gonna die to zone.
Politely. Fuck you.
Okay, he got lucky, but still. I don't really know what to say about this fight.
Kind of running low on nades.
Have better aim. Don't have grenades.
Hold on, wait, I'm out of nades. No, that is not right.
Don't use your vector at this range,
Okay.
especially with your less than ideal aim.
Well, fuck me again. This guy's trying to trick shot.
Anyways, yeah, the rest of this is just clown fest.
Back for my second monitor. I gotta look.
I'm gonna fast forward until it gets to the fights.
Okay, he's
So.
not looking at me. That wobbler is not looking at me.
That guy isn't, so.
That wobbler is. That wobbler.
So you wanna know who B sees right here? He sees this guy. You wanna know who he doesn't see? This guy with DMR and or sniper sitting on a rooftop ready to shoot him. And shoot him he does.
That one is
Yep. And now you've given away your location.
gone. And we're sad.
Oh, and the other guy sees you too, obviously, because they're part of a team.
I think it's the squad I fought earlier. It is.
Lack of a plan, yet again. So, you're under fire by somebody on a rooftop. What are you going to do? You have a couple of options. Number one, get to cover. This right here is a perfect spot for cover.
That's half our health gone. And we're sad.
Running around a tree that's directly in their line of sight is usually not recommended.
Squad I fought earlier. It is.
Also, this, good idea. But,
I think it's the squad I fought earlier.
use the AK. I'm pretty sure you start losing a bit of damage here because of the vector's damage fall off. Even if you didn't, the like spray, or I suppose the spread makes it less likely for you to hit shots. Also,
It is.
avoid jumping down into people's bullets. Jump to the side by the rock, or also, like, the dude's up on the house.
Kinda having my cheeks out in the open against these snipers. I wanna secure this guy to death. Holy shit.
You know, you should probably be using the gun that has a couple thousand ammo, not your mobility weapon that has 26.
Okay, so that guy was really funny and smart. I need the passive healing. You want passive healing against a sniper.
Vampire does not count as passive healing because you have to be in a fight for it to work.
Mostly 'cause sometimes.
Also, you should probably go back and check what the grenades he had, because grenades are usually pretty good against snipers.
Reacted. Let's go touch him with
Oh,
our gun.
God.
Not in that way, not in the P Diddy way. I don't remember. I'm fucking.
I swear, if you get my videos demonetized, B, I'm gonna go to the US and I'm gonna be mad. Okay, so here we go. This is exactly what you do. So you see somebody down there, jump out the window, move to the side. They don't see you. Keep moving. Spray them down. Perfect plan.
I'm gonna die here.
And that's not a good plan.
I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die here.
Now, that would have been good, except for the fact that you're caught in the middle of the open, and you're in a crossfire right now. Which, given, actually, this happened because you didn't do the three-step principle of get to cover, heal up, and re-engage. Now, obviously, you didn't take any damage, which is good. Good job. But still. What you could have done here is you could have gone here and actually gone up into that little cubby, and that gives you a chance to A, see if they're going to revive the dude, and B, like, because the dude is down here. If you go to the left here, if you go to the left here, you can keep an eye on this little area down here, which I'm going to shade in slightly. You can also see if there's anybody coming out of these buildings, if there's anybody coming off of these rooftops. If there's anybody that's going to be to the right here, if anybody that's going to pop up from the left here, number of things and everything. And even better, you get to do it from cover. So even if they do want to get to you, they either have to have a mobility tool, which they have to use that mobility tool, and you can catch them off guard, because most mobility tools make a lot of noise, such as grappling hook, jump, double barrel, everything. And they don't know where you are behind that wall. They just know you're there, so you can easily hide in a corner and gun them as soon as they come around. Or if they don't have an ability tool, they're just going to try and shoot at you. That's fine. You have cover and you have the high ground. You also have double barrel and the jump blessing. So what you could, if they do like move in here and they're if they move here and they're trying to shoot at you, you can just get on the roof and shoot them, and you have perfect cover. They can't get you, and even if they go to revive their teammate, you've got perfectly clear shot on them. And instead of this, you don't have a plan. And what happens when you don't have a plan? You make a bad plan, which is shooting this guy.
I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die here.
Except you get caught in a crossfire and then you die. Hi. Plan. You always need to have a plan. This is what I was saying before. It's all of this stuff.
I blame bad aim and that guy.
Nope, not bad aim.
That guy behind me came in a fucking other.
You should have expected that because you just downed his teammate. He's probably going to go investigate and kill the person who downed his teammate. Which is why we get to cover when we down somebody, because their teammates are going to want vengeance.
What I should have, I think I should have gone up on that building behind me with a little bit of the sawed off, because I forgot I had the sawed off, and then shot him.
You know what to do. Why are you not applying it? You literally said what I just said 3 minutes ago. You know what to do. Please apply it.
I just, yeah, that would have been a lot better. Maybe I could have shot his dead friend for a little extra time.
Okay. Okay, so this has happened multiple times where you obviously, or it seems like you know what you need to do, but you can't do it for one reason or another, and you recognize that you should have done it, but you don't. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now. Your aim is not going to win you most of your fights. It's just pure thing. You are not next Pepper, you are not the next Salty. Those are two high-level players with very good aim and everything. You cannot rely on your aim as a skill. You need it as a skill, but it is not going to be the key thing that wins you fights. So what should you do? You should rely on everything else. More specifically, rely on the plan. If your instinct tells you, I need to get on top of that building, listen to it. Ignore the part of you that says, oh, but I have the aim to take on the next two people with half a magazine of a submachine gun and a revolver. You're not going to be able to do it. You clearly can't do it. You haven't been able to do it ever. This time is not going to change. So please just listen to yourself, listen to your instincts, and go and get on the building and follow the plan.
Jiz will have a few more notes from me. He'll tell me exactly what I did wrong.
Also, if you hear a bit of crunching, I'm eating crackers. I get hungry when I do this. Got a bug lobby.
I tripped, guys. was tragic. Oh my god.
Okay, and he has an actual game this time. Okay. So this is a good drop spot.
No one?
You got yourself a gun.
Not a soul?
Got yourself a movement item. Good.
Okay.
Two submachine guns.
I guess.
I mean, you have the UMP, which has a bit more range than other submachine guns, so you can do okay at medium range. You should probably find a rifle, though. Good news is you have a lot of ammo for when you find one. That will do.
What was I talking about? I literally forgot for like half a second. I'm zoning the fuck out. Really? That pisses me off so much because the line fucking wires in 64 have collision, but these don't.
He's annoyed at the fact that the power lines here, you can't actually walk on them, whereas the ones in Area 64, you can. Okay. Okay, let's see how you take this fight. So, you see two people. Okay, do you get damage? You get behind cover? Okay, you downed one. Well, it's not the world's cleanest fight, but you did okay. It helps that they had terrible aim. I will admit, the little move thing that you pulled here, of getting behind cover here, this is actually good, Wood, because what it did is it forced this guy to go from where he was over here, which is kind of a weird angle, to stand all the way over here, where he is now in the open from this entire angle here. And then this guy has to move behind the tree because he doesn't want to hit his teammate, and what that does is that it makes, well, hitting B a harder task. As you can see there, he had to take a couple of seconds to stop, and you actually managed to nail this guy first instead of nailing this guy. So, honestly, pretty decent. I don't think you had much of a plan going into that, but, or I mean, even if you, like, I think you had, like, a vague plan, which was, I'm going to shoot this guy, and then I'm going to swap over to Thompson. But even then, like, this right here, you did a very micro plan. Right here. You ducked behind cover because you had to reload and everything. And even this is part of what wins you the fight, because you end up nailing that guy, you end up nailing this guy, and they don't manage to land a single hit on you. You need to do more stuff like this. Now, obviously, having big plans about how the fight is going to go and everything is important and everything, but even small stuff like that is important. Plans become habits, habits become the key to winning.
But it got the job done.
Exactly.
Alright, now we grab that bike over there and we copy it for me. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm gonna counter this motherfucker. What the fuck?
Get behind. You're lucky I slept a lot tonight. Or last night.
No. Also, Rule, I don't know how many times I have to say this, because I know you've probably mentioned it in every single video of review of me. No, the music is not copyrighted. Stop bitching about it. Hold on to that for me.
Okay. First thing that you could improve upon here is throwing that grenade. Congratulations, you started a fight with a grenade. That's an improvement. Problem is, A, it's the wrong grenade, and B, it's a grenade that you would really rather use in another moment.
Hold on to that for me. Thank you.
Even worse. Okay, well no, I do admit you do actually wait. You do move in. I'm pretty sure you get Car 98. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay, where do things go wrong here? First things first. Crash the bike. And then, okay, he gets a lucky shot on you. But you panic, so you throw this down. Down him. What's the first step of the 3-step plan after you down somebody? Get to cover. Why? because otherwise enemies can shoot you and you're probably hurt and then you die. And this is why we follow this 3-step plan. Now, obviously, you could have had better aim during that. The dude might have missed his Car 98 shot and everything, but the main problem there is that once you got down, you just tried to stick in the healing bubble and everything. Like even if you go behind the thing and you pop a bandage or medkit if you have enough time for it, it's not as much health. It's not as much health. Okay, yeah, that's true, but still, not getting as much health versus getting health but losing even more because you're in the enemy's line of fire. I would always go for the first option.
Fucking mighty. Yeah. Glad I got the rando. Five. 3 common poisons. The amount of time I've gotten 3 common poisons is fucking tragic.
Poison is also good as a like drop back in blessing because, like I mentioned with Storm,
Don't you love
you deal more damage with less bullets.
3 common poisons? Oh my god, somebody didn't look up before they launch padded, and now they know I'm here.
Nice, congratulations. And you got shot by 3 people. Okay, that's just kind of unfortunate. I don't even think you could actually win that. I mean, you could, but yeah.
I'm gonna blame the fact that I was poor.
Yeah, so you probably should have not have dropped into tall work.
I'm not gonna move an inch just so you can watch someone, try and jump over there. That'd be pretty funny. Fun of me. I don't know
Okay.
what I'm fucking yapping about. I'm trying to say something funny. I'm not fucking Uber. Do you know who else goes to factory? That's right. Hey, man. I don't know how to fucking Uber is. Don't make fun of me. I don't know what I'm fucking yapping about.
I do not know what he's trying to say
I'm
here.
not funny. But I keep thinking I am, and that is my greatest downfall. It makes me significantly.
I mean, you are somewhat funny, but you tend to. You are somewhat funny. Just not as much as you think you might be. Most people aren't. Okay, so you have a VSS, and you're under fire. You should probably deal with the person shooting you first.
Oh, greed does fail. I want that.
Okay. You remember what I said earlier in the first fight about awareness, especially when you're first landing in? If you're getting shot at by somebody, pull out whatever gun you have and shoot them. Especially in this case, you have the VSS, which is a perfectly fine gun to use at the 15 meters that this person is at. In case you didn't see them, which is kind of hard to do,
Okay, we're getting shot up.
right there,
We're getting shot.
this guy. This guy, who is very clear to see, and you very clearly see his bullets flying at you.
Greed never fails. Oh, greed does.
And so now, you're stuck in the middle of 3 other people.
I'm gonna pray that hits. It looks like it's gonna. Did not in fact hit.
And so instead, what do? You run up the stairs directly into
Poor wobbler got
that guy's
fucking
bullets.
obliterated. Ooh, okay, that was scary good knockback. Now we're all in on healing, which is I won't say it's good, but like.
Okay, so
Okay, let's prioritize the guy
okay, good. Yes, you shoot the guy with the gun. Very good.
died as some fuck ass.
That was an unnecessary healing grenade, given that you have so much healing and blessings. But well played. So, you can nab grenades, and so what he did is that he stole the grenade before it went off, and then caught the guy waiting for him to get stunned, and then managed to take him out because of that. That is a good plan. That was quick on the fly. Okay, there we go. Messy fight, obviously, but you had some idea of what to do there, and so you got some pretty decent results. Obviously, it took you like 2.5 minutes to do that fight, but still. Also,
Those guys are wrong.
I think I might have some things to say about vampire for you, but I'm gonna wait until later on and see how your fights go.
As they come into my little
Because you
hut.
might need to use different blessings, I'm gonna be honest.
I want to shoot them. Oh wait, there's a rat song. We're kind of eating good right now. Coming back from spawn. Come back from death. Ah, I died. Right there. This is where I saw them, so I guess they'd be
Okay,
right
you
there.
spotted somebody. What do you do? They're to your right. Now to your left. Oh my god, it's the guys from earlier.
Just killed a few seconds
Yeah.
ago. I kind of feel bad, but also at the same time, I don't. The disrespect to throw an implosion in front of my very eyes. I watched him throw it. I watched him leave his hands right in front of me at my feet, and he was just like, over this way. Got you loud and clear, sir.
Oh, yeah.
They were this way. Where's your friend? You're not gonna tell me. That's over at containers. There's usually people at containers. They'll probably kill each other by the time they get over there. Or they won't, which would be amazing. They are wobblers after all. Well, they also are wobblers after all, so you never know. Sniper up there. That's always take out the sniper first. Like,
Yes, okay, that is a plan. Focusing the sniper when you're about to move into a fight, that is a plan.
You never know where they're gonna lock.
Now let's see if this actually pays off or if he's just saying it. Okay. Takes out the person closest to him. Okay, I know he said take out the sniper, but this is understandable because he's in a very open environment and he just needs to focus on picking off people one by one. It's also important because he doesn't know who has the sniper and the sniper isn't currently present in the fight. I think there's some.
Are you yelling at me?
Yes, I was about to actually. No, no. I'm gonna yell at you about all the other stuff. Okay. So first thing, this is AK range. This is not Tommy range. This is Tommy range. Also, you did technically get behind cover. I will admit that. Unfortunately, the other dude moved, so it wasn't as important. But I mean, it did help him take a bit less damage. Actually, no, it did. He managed to. He only takes 2 damage from that shot, and it's quite possible he might have taken a lot more if he was closer. And then the rest of this is just kind of mediocre AK aim. This is good though. You're using jump to get height, which makes it more difficult for him to use his shotgun. And then, yeah, you're standing out in the open to loot. Which wouldn't be an issue if you bring smoke grenades with you, but since you seem to be averse to doing that, rough times, buddy. Okay, so you have 2 people on the edge of zone. What are you gonna do? 2 people fighting on the edge of zone. Okay, not bad.
But I'm also not letting him get away.
FYI, this guy doesn't have any green blessings. You don't need to you don't need to chase him. You just need to apply pressure, and he won't have a chance to heal, unless he's really ambitious.
Good effort, dude.
Okay, I will admit that was actually a pretty decently played fight. Decent, though, is not good. So, this dude, you actually start this pretty well. Okay, congratulations. Implosion grenade and tatami spray, completely fine. And then what do? You don't follow the 3 rules that you're supposed to. As soon as you down somebody, you don't get to cover. And what happens? You proceed to take 70 points of damage, which means you have to burn a shield grenade. He has to burn his grenade, obviously, but that means you also have to use a healing grenade, and that gives him a chance to escape. And what this do? This means the fight goes on for another, you're at 21 right now, another 20 seconds.
Good effort, dude.
Instead, had you just ducked behind a pillar or backtracked, as soon as you got that kill, or even better, you didn't close the distance and you just shot him with your AK instead of your Tommy, you probably could have killed that other dude in 5-10 seconds. Well, no, the 5-10 seconds that already was part of that, and not the extra 20 seconds that's been tacked on.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, so he's Rager. Okay. Anyways, you need to get the zone. There is. Okay, so you hear a fight. You get height. Good. This is actually the best thing that I can do right here. Mainly because this is the top of a hill, so this is... These rooftops right here and these trees are the highest point available right now, which means if he can get there, he can A, see the whole surrounding area, and if there's somebody else, they're going to have a lot more difficulty shooting at him. And if they do shoot at him and they do hit him, he can back up quickly and get onto the roofs or the other side of the tree or drop down and heal and everything, and they have to take time to get up to him. And if he instead, like, he heals quickly, he uses like a bandage or a short he uses relax for like a second maybe or something, and he pops back and he shoots them as they run up towards him. That's a free down for him. So, good move here.
Hey.
So you see a couple of people, implosion grenade. Good choice. Now, obviously the aim is a bit lacking here.
Epic case of bad aim.
Shoot the guy with the gun, not the guy who just dropped in. Also, minor tip. You are relying too much on the Tommy gun, which makes sense. The Tommy gun is a submachine gun. You like submachine guns, and you also don't really have good aim, so the AK is more difficult for you to use. Problem. When you use the Tommy in situations when you shouldn't, like at, what, 15, 20 meters here, or it wasn't here, but it was earlier.
Hey.
Not here. This is just bad aim. But
That was just epic case of bad aim.
here, for example, not really the best moment to use a Tommy gun. And this is because the Tommy gun has a lot of spread. It's 3 actually. Most guns have 0.5 as their spread number. The Tommy has 6, which is 3 more. Now, obviously, if you throw under an accuracy barrel, that cuts down to 1.5, but 1.5 is still a lot of spread. So just use the AK.
Where do you
Also, fun fact, you could have thrown a cage grenade and stopped him completely,
going?
which would have saved you 2, 3, 4, 5,
That hit!
6,
Holy shit, I'm goated.
7, 8, 9. This is AK range. Now it's Tommy range, but
Seriously.
10. That saved you. It would have saved you about 15 seconds. Also, yeah, as I was saying, this is AK range. Use the AK here. This is good Tommy gun range.
Seriously, what are you doing?
I think the better question is, what are you doing? But
Guy with oh.
okay, so you're coming back,
Yes, he did good.
and there's a different fight going on. There's a dude. There's a sniper to the left, and then there's this guy. I'm pretty sure he goes for this guy because he is hurt, and he got 2 hits on him.
Coward. Oh, but he failed. So I'm gonna drop down. Right in front of this wobbler.
Congratulations, Bee Eater. You just played yourself, and there wasn't really much you could do there except not that. Or actually just not chase the dude who went on the launch pad, because you're probably not going to get the kill, and instead focus on the dude on your left and his supposed team instead of just chasing this guy. Even better, you could actually use the launch pad to reposition to a different part of the map. But then again, you are going for kills, so
Fucking coward.
yeah.
Grouger.
did get a good amount of kills though, so congratulations.
In the OBS. Look at my starting screen. Look at that. That's peak.
Joke's on you, B. My walls here are made of brick, so I highly doubt you'd be in them. But anyways, I will admit that was a better game than the previous ones, but yeah, it's still. I think you play too much on auto. I think you play on autopilot too much, which you can tell by the way you do things, and that's not good because when you're playing on autopilot, your brain just defaults to what you're used to, and when it defaults, it usually defaults to bad plans or no plans whatsoever, actually, which comes from not developing habits.
So sad. Tragic. I don't want to be part of the fucking golden frog. Pointed out to class. Do I need to beat the fucking Dora? Oh boy, where did Bee Eater drop?
Okay.
Holy.
Oh, loot hasn't loaded in yet.
PowerPoint presentation area. No loot ass area. Holy shit. Also, I've always wondered, why 71?
I'm pretty sure the answer to that is just the way that the drum magazine is made. But
every other gun like has like a flat amount, but 71 for the PSH.
it's just part of the. He's talking about the PPSH having a 71 drum mag. I'm pretty sure that's part of the design of the actual weapon.
Some weird thing with the beta, like with the MG42 scout, Chevrolet MG. I want that.
This is actually a good combo, believe it or not. The MG42 fills the close range weapon slot, and the VSS fills the medium to long range weapon slot. Which is why, A, you should not be looking at the ground when you know there are other people here. Hint, hint. Point 1, awareness, and you have your eyes and ears open until location is clear when you're dropping in. And B, if you're fighting in the tent area, if you are in the tent area, there's going to be people in the tent area. It's going to be a close range fight, so have your close range gun out. You hear him walking for like a full 3 seconds before he sees you. And then you just get face checked by Scar. This is most definitely not your best performance.
That is the important part. Once again, and missing. We don't care what they do as long as they aren't shooting and hitting. They can shoot all they want as long as they don't shoot me. They are shooting me.
How about you shoot them? You have 300 amp. Oh, that's why. You can't hit a shot. Really, buffering? Actually, is my internet down? No, it's not. It's just YouTube being YouTube. Well then. Okay, we are back. Yep. Technical issues on my end. Sorry about that. And I'm getting deja vu. How odd. Okay. Anyways.
I think the MG42 and AKS have different overlap. Or don't overlap much.
Yeah, I mean they do. They're both close range, high bullet output weapons.
Okay.
Okay, not bad.
4,000. Annihilated.
You should probably grab that Scar H instead of the AKS so you have a medium range option. Especially since you do not have a compensator.
Dude, I have no idea who you are. Why are you hitting me with that?
Not bad. Okay, decent fight actually. You really should grab a different gun than the whatchamacallit. Even something like a VSS would work here. Okay, Dynamite, get behind the rock. Okay, you hit one of them, and you smoked through him.
He's going up.
Oh, he's downed. Wait, what? Did I? How did I miss that? Oh, I think it's. You hear like the little soul noise. That means those two aren't on the same team, or that guy got out and got hit by his buddy's car.
He's going up.
And he's coming back down. Okay, that is kind of like the ideal situation for the MG.
I'm not British now. That was fucking hilarious.
Somebody threw a bouncy grenade at you.
Hey, Joseph, you don't laugh at that. Duel, if you don't laugh at that, I'm gonna make fun of you. I'm gonna laugh at you. Because that was hilarious, objectively.
You know there's... Yeah, there's somebody nearby, I was about to say.
Okay, that guy's kind of fucking me over.
Hmm. Okay. Congratulations. But, let everybody say it with me now.
Laugh at that. Duel, if you don't. He caged himself with me.
Why did you jump down from high ground into his bullets? If you're gonna jump down from high ground, do it into an area that he's not actively shooting. Or even better, do it but to a spot that's behind cover. So you don't get shot while you do it.
Fucking me over.
And then you don't have to spend another 15 seconds fighting him. And use up a splinter grenade.
We're fine. You get what I'm saying. I should not be playing.
Okay, what is the plan here? Do you have a plan? Okay, so you're getting shot at. And so you try to get close, but you can't.
Should not be playing Russian roulette with my own head.
Oh, so these are guys from before. So, a couple of things here. First off, okay, was there any noise cues? I think there was a faint jump, but yeah, no. Okay, so first things first. You're getting shot at. Get to cover. Try and spot where they are. Okay, so they're over there. You know what'd be really helpful right about now? To deal with somebody who's at about 30, 35 meters, who's standing completely still, and who has a buddy who's also behind cover. You know what would be the perfect thing for this situation right now? Some kind of medium range weapon. I don't know, something that doesn't need as much distance as a sniper rifle does, but also like can be used beyond like the 15 meters that your MG42 or your AKS is stuck at. Do you think that would be an appropriate thing for this kind of fight? Yeah? Then why do you not have a medium range weapon? Come on. Seriously, dude. If you're gonna run an MG, you have to have a medium range weapon. I don't care if the MG42 can be used with great effectiveness at medium range. It's not a reliable weapon. Just grab yourself an assault rifle or a VSS if you don't want to mix ammo, and that's it. You haven't even used the AKS at all, or at least very little. So that's the first issue here. Second issue is that you run directly towards them and into their open line of fire, trying to get close to them. Instead of, I don't know, forcing them into cover with one of the two grenades you have, shooting back at them and getting them to move to cover, so, you know, suppressing them, things that machine guns are really good at. Now, admittedly, the rest of this section is actually pretty decent. I mean, kind of. You missed this here. Like, you knew that was probably gonna hit. You should have been like ready for it, or if not ready, at least be semi-prepared. But I mean, this is decent. You get behind cover, you heal up, and now look, you can take the next fight and be completely fine. There you go. Good job. Okay. Well, okay. So you got. Okay. What happens here? So you loot these guys. Get yourself a teleport spellbook. Fantastic. You hear somebody dash to your left, and you ambush some guy. Fantastic. Okay. You get to cover. You're healing up. Nice. You get back into the fight. You get that. Okay. You down this guy. Get to cover. So you did actually use the AKS there, but I don't think there's any difference between it and the MG. Okay.
I want to hear some props for this one.
Congratulations. That was actually a pretty decent fight. You should have probably thrown the smoke grenade. Okay, no, I'm kidding. That he is right. That was actually a pretty skilled fight, especially given his track or his history of struggling with large team fights. So, fantastic play right here. Dash in, get a member out of the team immediately. Now, you do admittedly go to cover here. Not well, but you do. Then you throw a grenade to, I'm guessing, deal damage, prevent them from reviving the downed guy. Makes sense. You use that to dodge the guy who's running towards you. Run over here, down this guy, and then the guy who's running at you, you kind of just avoid him. No, actually, you go back for him because he's trying to revive his teammate. Okay, which is good, and then you go and pick off the last guy if yeah.
I want to hear some props for this one.
I'm gonna be honest, that was actually a really damn good fight. You did well on all fronts there. Obviously, there are a couple of things that you could have done a bit smoother. For example, like this right here. You could have thrown down. I mean, if you had like a smoke grenade or something, you could have thrown that down, or just throw down a normal grenade. Oh no, you throw down the implosion. Okay, that's pretty good. That you know. I'll be honest. This is actually just if you did if you did what you're doing here, the like thought process, the step-by-step execution, basically step-by-step execution of taking out every member one by one and making sure you're not fighting more than 2 people at once, you would easily get 30 kills. Or not easily, but you would definitely be able to get 30 kills. Because this is a really good performance from you. Now, it would help if you had, I don't know, a medium range weapon right now. Wait, let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 kills. And then you get hit with a beam sniper. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, well, you're improving, but yeah, you still have a lot to work on.
One little thing I don't like about fucking pistols only, MAC-10s don't spawn. That is, like, it's a pistol. Stop pretending it's not a pistol game. MAC-10s don't spawn, and it's bloody tragic.
I think it's referring to the fact that pistols are the most likely thing to spawn here, and the MAC-10 doesn't technically count as a pistol. It counts as a submachine gun, despite the fact that it functions like a pistol.
Whatever, shut up.
He is technically correct. Well, I'm pretty sure the MAC-10 is legally registered as a submachine gun, and whereas the Tech-9, the J-18C are registered as machine pistols. So, yeah, but
Here's the little thing though. Tech 9 tech. Is it a tech? Is it an exploit? That's for you to decide. I personally call it more of a tech. If you only shoot it like that, kinda busted. But also, probably
Is
get
this a
it.
pistols only match? It is. It is. It is. It is a pistols only match. Oh boy.
Fuck him up.
Those are the guys from last game. Okay, let's see if it can do the same dismantling of their squad as before.
You know how fucking busted that is?
That's one. Perfect. Get the cover. Nice. And as you can see here, what he's doing is he's splitting up the fight. You have the two down people here and here-ish. You have the third person who's somewhere over here, and you have this guy who's over here. And there was a clear division between these two. The person who's in here can't actually help with the fight up here. If they can, they can't do much. Now, what that means is that as long as he does not whiff immensely, like he just did, he would have been able to actually win that fight. My question is why you close the distance when you have a Tech 9, which is an accurate auto pistol that doesn't need to be point blank, but the mysteries of Beater's mind. And then you just kind of get gunned. Okay. Oh, rip. Do you have any kills here? Did I miss anything? No. Okay. We've got perfectly standard loadout here.
Fuck that, I'm not gonna be able to pick that up. Damn. Okay.
And people tell me the knockback rate isn't good. You know what would have helped in this fight?
Eater eats
No. Ahem. Remember I was saying earlier about the AK having its own range and the Tommy gun having its own range and the benefits of a medium range weapon? You should probably apply that. Because here you could have been able to hit, I'd say, like 3, maybe 4 shots, which means that when you turn the corner here and you hit that last shot, they might have actually been dead. Instead of you getting absolutely gunned by a 1911. Anyways, he loots back up here. M14. Oh, he's going.
That was not the nade. Right? That was not the nade I meant to throw. I got a hit.
If you got a hit, you should probably turn around and go and investigate who was there, right?
This loadout served me pretty well earlier.
I think he's getting firework cross. He got firework crossbowed. Wait. Okay. So.
Served me pretty well earlier. That's gonna kill me.
So he threw down a splinter grenade as he was getting balloon crossbowed, and not only did he manage to take out the other guy, I think he survived it because it's not balloon, it was a flare crossbow actually kept him in the air out of the path of the ricocheting bullets. Well done, I will say.
You think you could just crossbow pistol me and get away with it? He got up.
Okay, and now you're gonna jump down. Yes, good job. So the reason he jumps down here is that the person on the second floor has two options. Run up the stairs directly into where Beater is presumably going to be, or back up and go down the stairs. Most people tend to go down the stairs, so he's running down here to ambush them as they run away.
Worked both times. That's bloody hilarious. Oh my god.
I think he actually got 2 people with that. I can't tell because of the
I choked that so hard.
Yes, you did.
This time I won't get you with that.
You know what you should have done here? You should have had a plan. If the person saw you run up the stairs and everything, you Wait, no, no. This is the exact same problem that you've been having. You're jumping down into people's bullets. You have options B. You have a dynamite. You have an implosion grenade. You have the other windowsill all the way over here. Even worse, you jump down to the first floor. You run up the stairs, catching them trying to revive their buddies. You have options. You do not need to run back into the path of their bullets and then just die for like the fourth time this video. Like, come on, dude. I'm trying to help you, but like you really gotta learn at some point. The stuff I teach and the points I try to make to help you understand, you have to actually apply them for them to work. Because otherwise, I'm just spending hour, maybe 2 hours yelling at Tap G footage, which I mean it's fun, but like I'm not a React video YouTuber. I'm coaching videos. I'm a coaching YouTuber. There's a difference. Well, usually it's that the coaching one gets paid less, and I don't get paid for this. Maybe I should start charging fees or charging prices for my coaching.
The foul, it's a worse M14.
The foul was not that bad, but the foul is difficult to use. I will make a video on that eventually.
I mean, it is a worse 1911. I'd rather have like a 1911. Yeah, I'd rather have that than a foul.
Yeah. Most people dislike the foul. The foul is a complicated gun. It like numerically speaking, it's very, very strong. You're able to take out a full squad of 4 players with 1 magazine, which is absolutely insane. Like, yeah, you can do that with like the MP44 too, obviously, but still, it deals a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure it's 49 per bullet, which is insane. Which means it pairs incredibly well with poison. So yeah, you can actually, yeah, and it has a very good range, not much recoil and everything, but it is slow and it is hard to use if you have bad aim. I'll make a detail going over all of the specifics of the foul and everything sometime in the future, but not today and not now. Also, I know people are gonna fight me about this in the comments. Go ahead.
That guy looks kind of slow. Never mind, he's standing still and shooting.
Okay, there's a fight. Person sees you, they shoot at you. What are you gonna do?
That didn't hit? Oh, that's some bullshit. He's got kind of shit aim. This guy sucks. I suck more though, apparently. I don't.
Okay, it was decently well played. B, what the hell is this loadout? You have 2 close range guns.
This game.
Okay, well, I mean, it's not that bad because the FAMAS is an assault rifle, but like, come on.
I'm kind of good, I guess so.
M14 Vector. Let's see how well this goes.
Should I loot all? Please politely hold on to that while I. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
I think it's the same people from the past like 3 games. Yep. Okay. Get the kill, get the cover, and heal.
So we're gonna back the fuck off, because I am learning from last time that I should back off and heal sometime.
He can learn. It just takes him an hour and a half. Okay, that's progress. Oh my god.
I would be, but I'm not gonna be there to subvert their expectations. See that?
You should at least still throw a grenade or something to prevent them from reviving. It's almost like he can hear me.
I'm doing the green tile. Okay, well.
Oh, they threw a big healing grenade. I was like, well, how did he suddenly get all that health back?
and are fighting it on their own terms. I don't like this at all.
And you're gonna leave?
I've just gotta run.
Yes, good. This is what you should be doing.
This movement speed is doing work. Yeah, they're fighting.
Okay, good. So you're resetting the fight. This is what you should do.
Individually, all of those guys kind of suck.
But they tend to stick close to each other. That is the biggest issue here.
Go fuck them up.
Okay. Bad news is you have a lot less grenades than you did last time.
Sounds like they're in another fight, so if I can catch them with their pants down, I can fuck them up. Make views.
When did you get it? Okay, I don't know when you got an MG42.
I'm so tempted to take the money.
Do not take the money stack.
I should take that.
Yes, you should. Okay, so he suddenly increased the value of his MG by like 80%. You got one of them down. Here's the next. Good. It's 2 down. Get the cover.
The money stack. I'm so tempted to take it.
Okay.
But you know, I gotta try hard. I gotta be serious.
You don't have to be serious. You just have to not play like an absolute idiot. You can still play like an idiot.
See hand cannon. They're all individually complete randos.
Okay,
But
good.
together, they're pretty scary.
There's a 5th one.
Put up a fight.
B, there's a 5th guy. You hear him reloading. He's right there. Oh no, wait, it's down people.
That's 2. See, again. The fucking...
You should probably throw down a smoke grenade if you know there's somebody in the area.
On their terms. They're not fighting you on your terms. You're fighting them on theirs. You don't care because it's going to work out.
And there's a 5th guy. Okay, so he wants to get into the fight, and so he sacrificed his launch pad grenade. Oh.
These fuck-ass snipers.
I mean, I don't really think that was the super worth of a launch pad grenade, but... Okay, that's 1 down.
Legendary. You ain't got no legendary blessing on you.
You hear somebody running up. Or at least somebody else nearby. They're throwing stuff. Yeah. It'd be this guy. You know what you shouldn't do, B? You should not fight somebody with a Mossberg in tight quarters.
That was a double barrel fucking moss. Buddy, scary because it's still a moss, but that's a real player. I thought that was not a real player. See? Mossbergs are scary. That's what I think I'm gonna call it. You know?
Mossbergs are scary when you play like an idiot, and even worse, when you try and close the distance against a Mossberg. Why are you this close? You have an MG. You can be like double the distance and still hit 60% of your shots.
See? Mossberg, well,
That is completely your fault. Have a plan, B. Have a plan.
it was there though. I'm going back to the old shitty houses. Shitty sniper houses.
I know I'm being more like aggressive and when explaining this stuff, but like it's just like when you see it happen for the 3rd time, it gets frustrating.
Fuck!
A legendary storm call. Oh my god, you are so incredibly unlucky. He had the chance to get an absolutely amazing blessing, and he gets a semi-functional one. Hey, at least it gives you a way to kill this guy right in front of you that you saw and steal his loot.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Why did you not start with this?
Got him. Absolutely worth it. Yeah, sock load out.
Tech 9. Okay, that's good. I would not put them in the same slot, seeing as the Tech 9 is your only like viable weapon past 5 meters. Also, Storm Call. Also, you're low on ammo. Just di- ditch the Tech 9.
We got Mossberg, we got, I think Car 98, maybe Garand. Sounds like Car 98.
Let's see how you handle this. Okay, decent.
Bottle down! Ooh, I killed a guy named Bottle. Treat me well.
Okay.
Bottle down.
His buddy tried to get him up, failed. And he gets his buddy. You're at 10 kills. That's a third of the objective you're going for. Okay, he's not dead to zone, which is shocking. You have a wall grenade, dude. Walled grenade. It's instant cover. I like.
Right there. I beat you once, I can beat you
Use
again.
the AK, buddy.
Oh,
Okay, fantastic. Now throw down the wall. Okay. Never mind. He might actually get a win here. Does he? Okay, 14 kills. Well, obviously you are a bit rusty. He hasn't played it in a couple of weeks. It shows. It's not the worst gameplay I've seen, but like you really need to start having a plan when you're taking fights, even if it's like a small plan. Like I'm gonna use this weapon, then this weapon, and then get to cover. This weapon, profit off of vampire. This weapon, throw down a healing grenade or something. Just have a process that you're following. Think ahead of time because right now you're just running on autopilot, and when you're running on autopilot, you play badly, or at least you don't play optimally. And playing like that, you're never gonna hit 30 kills. It's just sorry. Um, yeah, the main points here are this. Um, anything else? Uh, mm, there were several moments when you had both of those grenades, and it would have really helped you to use them, and you didn't, and you end up dying to it. So yeah, the main conclusion is awareness is key. Having your eyes and ears open until location is clear, or when you're walking around out in a spot that you don't know is clear. Until you've looked around and made sure, hey, there's nobody here, I can like kind of zone out for a moment. Always be like alert. Always have a plan. This is the key theme of the episode. Before a fight, during the fight, after you get a kill, after you get a down, after the fight, when you're looting everything, where you're going and everything, have a plan. It doesn't matter if even if it's like a small thing, it's just like even if it's a three-step plan that I always talk about. Get to cover, heal, and re-engage after you get down or something. It's not even a plan. It's kind of just like a 1, 2, 3 step. It's not. It's nowhere near complicated enough to be qualified as quote quote a plan. But having something like that and applying it in these fights would have just like I think there were at least 3, 4 games where just following that would have saved you in a fight and gotten you either the win or a lot more kills and everything. And then even then, and then on top of that, having like bigger plans like, okay, they have this, they have two snipers and the machine gun, everything. I'm gonna go for the machine gun first. I'm gonna play around cover more than I normally do and everything. Just like take what you're gonna do, divide it into like sections, and then tune each section depending on what the fight needs. And over time, these are gonna become habits that you're going to eventually develop the habit of using cover more against a machine gun, using jumps more against a crossbow, using grenades more against a sniper and everything. And but that comes with time and you have to be aware of what you're doing. Like you have to be aware of what you're doing before it can become a habit where you're not aware but you're still doing it. Your aim is not going to win you fights. Just trust me, you do not have the aim, and you most likely will never have the aim, which is fine, to win your fights. Just listen to your instincts and follow whatever the plan for that fight is. If you're doing a fight and your aim kind of goes out the window and you're suddenly struggling or something, then just reset, go back, move, swap to a different weapon or something. But most of the time, if you have a good plan and you set up well, you're going to put yourself in situations where aim is almost never an issue for you. Like obviously, if you can't hit somebody who's tased on the ground, okay, that's a bit of a bigger issue, but you don't have that issue. You've already moved past that. Next one, use the AK when it is time to use the AK. Every weapon in your loadout has a specific purpose. If you're missing a purpose, you're going to struggle, as you saw in that forest fight. You didn't have a medium range weapon, you got absolutely gunned twice over, actually. You got gunned with the first squad, and then gunned when you had to deal with the second squad. And several times you lost kills, you took a lot more damage, you died, such as in the factory clip where you got hit with a knockback grenade and everything. I know you like the Thompson, and I know you're better with the Thompson, but sometimes you just need to use the AK, and it's a right moment for the AK. If you don't like the AK, look for alternatives. Use the Scar H. Use the AUG, actually. Yes, it has less damage. Yes, it needs 6 shots to kill instead of 5. But it's a lot easier to use. It has a built-in scope, which is fantastic. It's honestly one of the best scopes in the game. Um, it's really good. If you don't like that, use the FAMAS instead, and then use like the Glockinator or the Vector instead of the Thompson to have a bit more of that close range punchiness. And then the FAMAS kind of fits that like weird like in between close and medium range slot. Or instead you use like a sniper with a FAMAS. If you don't like snipers and man, I don't know, a shotgun maybe something like that, or a melee weapon, the Jarl axe for example, or the katana. And then the last one, use offensive nades like smoke and wall when you need them. This also goes to like just like in general, it is okay to move behind the wall and heal up for 5 seconds, or just like disengage from a fight and use that. Oh, and then there is one last one. Effective immediately and going on during this like series and everything. No more vampire blessings. Now this sounds incredibly odd, and I know you're going to hate me for it, and you might not listen. Here is the reason, and I'm going to pull out MS Paint for this. Here's the reason why I, do not think MS Paint, or fuck. um, this is why Vampire does not count as quote unquote passive healing, and B, why Vampire is probably actively hurting you. So, I'm going to make a number of small little circles here. These are the various healing blessings that are in the game. Let's see. I think it's about 6. Okay, so you have R. This is regen. This is the healing over time one. You don't have to do anything. Then you have cardio. This is hold on. Okay, this is regen. This is the healing over time and everything. You don't really have to do anything with this. This is cardio. Cardio is you have to be moving to activate the healing, and the faster you move, the more healing you get. This is relax. You have to be in the quote unquote prone position to activate the healing. This is recycling. You have to reload your gun. The less ammo the gun has, the more healing you get from it. This is healing words, which is you have to use a catchphrase to activate this. And then this is vampire. Well, I'm actually just gonna. And this is vampire, where you have to deal damage to enemies to get damage back. So, why am I insisting that um, vampire does not count as passive healing and everything? Well, it's quite simple. The premise of vampire comes off of the fact that it is lifesteal. How lifesteal works is that when you hit an enemy, you get a percentage of the damage you deal to them back as health to you. Now, every game this is a different way. In Tab G, you deal damage to them, you get health, and it heals you up until your maximum health. Simple as that. Now, key difference here. Regeneration needs absolutely nothing to trigger, and it is running at all times. This means literally every single time when you are walking. So I suppose when you are idle, uh, hold on. When you are like, come on, dude. When you are idle, and when you're fighting, it is running during all of these moments and everything. Basically, all the time. So actually, hold on. So the conditions for regen to work is basically that you have to just be alive. That is the only thing you need for regen to actually work. Cardio, you have to be moving. Okay. Relax, you need to be prone. Okay. Recycling, you have to reload gun. Okay. Healing words, you have to use your catchphrase. Okay. And then vampire, it needs an enemy. Now, there's a very big difference between the first 5 of these and the 6th one, is that every single one of the first 5 conditions is completely dependent on you. You choose if you are alive, if you are moving, if you're prone, if you're reloading, or if you're using a catchphrase. It's completely on you. You can use it pretty much whenever. Vampire, however, does not work. You cannot shoot yourself. Okay. Most of the time, you cannot shoot yourself with your own gun to get health back. It would be really funny, but you can't. So what does this mean? This means that for Vampire to actually work as a healing blessing, you have to be with an enemy. And this causes a new issue. Because for there to be an enemy, you have to be in a fight. And if you're in a fight, well, obviously, you're going to take damage. And the problem here comes from the fact that most of the time when you're using Vampire, if you try and use it to get healing over time during a fight or everything, you're going to get a lot of healing. But it relies you on hitting the enemy. And this is unreliable. You don't have control over when you hit the enemy. Now, obviously, it depends on your aim, where the enemy is standing, if they have shield or like they dodge or whatever, everything. But all of this stuff, all of this, you get to pick when you're doing any of this. And most of the time, you don't get to pick any of this. All of this is up to the other people who you are fighting, which is really, really bad. Now, this is made even worse by the fact that you do not have necessarily good aim. Now, what that means is that all of these don't really care about your combat skills. Like, obviously, cardio, the more you move, the better it is. Relax, if you know how to if you know when's a good moment to use relax to get a bit of healing over time. Recycling, if you know what weapons to use and everything. Okay, yeah, that's like understandable. Those skills, they're simple skills though. They develop over time. Vampire depends completely on your aim, and that's it. It depends on your aim and how well you can take a fight, which for you does not work. And as we have seen in the past, it just Vampire causes you too many problems when you're trying to use it, then it solves. If you most of the times when you've had Vampire, you could have easily replaced it with regen or cardio or even recycling. Hell, um, and you have had either equal or better results. And even then, there are several moments where you've been getting shot at, and you'd get healing over time because you do spend a lot of time of getting shot at whilst not shooting back at the enemy. And in that time, Vampire does absolutely nothing. It is literally a dead slot, whereas every single other one of these can be used whilst you're getting shot at by somebody else and you're not shooting back at them. So, tangent aside, put down the vampire blessing. Seriously, pick any other healing blessing aside from vampire. I know it sounds insane, but trust me, you will improve over time and you will learn how to take better fights because you're not relying on vampire and you're not putting yourself in risky situations because of vampire. Okay. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you for attending today's you know, I suppose it's coaching with Gears of Planet. The other most of them are reviewing. This is more intensive, so it is actually it's like it's a step up from what I normally do, which is why I've been so intense about it. Anyways, um special note for those who have actually made it this far, I will be uploading yet another review soon. It is the belated April Fool's special, and I hope you have been to Mexico soon because otherwise you're not going to understand any of it. And with that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.